2025 Giro d'Italia, stage 13. Behind me, Vicenza. We're up in the region of Veneto, and I'm up here on the top of this 1 kilometer climb that ended the stage. And well, let me tell you, it was a surprising result up here at the top of Monte Berico. And a good one too. A lot of action at the end of the day, and a little bit of a change up in the GC. This Giro d'Italia coverage is brought to you by Bicycle, the best place online to buy and sell pre-owned bikes. Have too many bikes in your garage or shed? Well, no problem. Head on over to bicycle.com/FloBikes. List your bikes in minutes and sell to cyclists worldwide, and get your 30% off seller protection code. All right, stage winner, who was it? Well, we thought it could be a GC day, especially with this climbing, and we thought, well, if the sprinters were there, they were gonna have to be strong sprinters. So who does that whittle that down to? Yes, you guessed it. The guy in that purple jersey, what they call the Maglia Ciclamino, the Ciclamino jersey, Mads Pedersen, the Danish powerhouse, powered his way to victory up here at the top of this 1 kilometer climb, Monte Berico. Well, Wout van Aert gave him a run for his money. It was Wout who hit out first on the wheel of Isaac Del Toro. Isaac Del Toro led them up to the finish, but he had no choice. Then it was the fight with Pedersen and Van Aert. Pedersen went first, Van Aert followed. Van Aert could never come around, but Van Aert mounted a mean charge, and we thought maybe he'd get him on the line. Last night I was in the hotel with Van Aert's parents. This morning I saw Van Aert's wife and children there at the start. The whole family was here rooting him on, but it wasn't enough to beat out Pedersen on the line. Second and first, hell, it was Van Aert and Pedersen. Pedersen picking up more points for that Ciclamino jersey. In third place, Del Toro held on and got those crucial bonus seconds. There's 10, 6, and 4. Del Toro picked up 4 seconds, and if you're looking at the GC, well, he gained 6 seconds because he was third on the Red Bull sprint at 10 kilometers out. Second on that sprint, well, that was his own teammate, Juan Ayuso. He helped him get the second. First at that point, well, is Scaroni. Let's talk further back. The escape of the day. 9 riders went free, but I want you to only concentrate on 1 rider. Lorenzo Germani. He was the one that held on the longest. There was that climb with about 50 kilometers out. The escape was starting to disintegrate, and all that was left was Germani. Scaroni joined up to Germani, and the duo, well, they held a gap, and it seemed like the GC and the sprinters team wanted to let them go free, just to stay out there until we got to the final kicker here, and that's exactly what happened. They went over the top of that climb. They went down, they started gaining more time. Then we came up to the climb here. They were doing 1 loop, so we got a view of what it would look like. Caden Groves was on the very back of that bunch. UAE Team Emirates in strong control, working really well, at times having 6 of their riders there for Del Toro, including Juan Ayuso. He sits second, Del Toro sits first in the overall classification. Down, that was 20 kilometers to go, 10 kilometers to go is the Red Bull sprint. At that point, we still had Scaroni up front, the rider from Brescia. He was alone. Then behind, we thought the group behind, led by UAE, would pick them up so they could get maximum bonus seconds at the top of that climb. Had they done so, would have gone to Ayuso or Del Toro. As it was, Ayuso picked up second, Del Toro third, bonus seconds. Then down, Alpecin de Koenig took control. They thought, I guess, that Caden Groves was going to have a shot on this climb. I don't know what was going on. We saw a heck of a lead out by the team with Quinten Hermans, also Plancart, setting them up right into the base of the climb. Now, at the top of that Red Bull climb, we saw Romain Bardet go free. With Bardet was also Vacek, who's normally, yes, Mads Pedersen's lead out man, so he was up the road. Those two were caught right at the base of this climb here. Alpecin was still pulling on the front. They faded. It was Mads Pedersen sitting on the wheel of Caden Groves. They started to work, and then Del Toro there in the pink jersey, you can't miss him. He was at the front, and then Mads Pedersen on the right-hand side just powers up. Van Aert starts to follow, but he could not stop Mads Pedersen from pulling off another victory in this Giro d'Italia. The most wins he's ever picked up in a Grand Tour before. He's won stages in the Giro d'Italia, 2019 world champion, and now he's dominating this Tour of Italy 2025. More points for that Ciclamino jersey. He wants to ride it to Rome, and asked what his ambitions are in the rest of this race is to win, and win all the way to Rome. Isaac Del Toro hasn't yet had a chance to win in the pink jersey. Would have loved to do so today because his mom was here at the finish line to celebrate along with Del Toro in that pink jersey. He hugged her at the finish line. Van Aert sat down on the finish line right there. We were able to speak with him. He's always polite. He did Dutch, he did English with us, very polite. Mads Pedersen's so happy when I spoke with him there in the mix zone, explaining everything that went down. Van Aert, for his part, well, he's gaining momentum. He didn't do a good lead out in Naples, but then he bounced back on the gravel stage, proving he's the Van Aert of old that we saw last year in the Volta a España before he crashed out and hurt his leg. He won that gravel stage ahead of Del Toro. Again, Del Toro not having his chance. Here, Wilco Kilderman, Affini, Kruijswijk, all those guys were working for him to try to set him up, and they just nearly pulled it off. Van Aert is back. As he said in the interview, he never went away, but he just wasn't at his best for a while there. He's back, but it was Mads Pedersen today, and Del Toro picking up those crucial bonus seconds over his own teammate. Also, we're looking on the stage results. Yeah, you would notice Primoz Roglic was up there. Egan Bernal was around 4th, I think, on the stage. Primoz Roglic 6th on the stage. Derek G 8th on the stage. We had a great finish today. It wasn't a high mountain summit finish, it was a short kicker. Mads Pedersen showed dominant back behind the GC while it's taking more and more shape when we're looking down the results. It's Isaac Del Toro gaining those sneaky bonus seconds as we edge our way ever so close to the Alps. Tomorrow another sprint stage into Slovenia, and then we have a climbing stage on Sunday to round out the second of 3 chapters of the 2025 Giro d'Italia. But today, Monte Birico, we're celebrating Mads Pedersen on top. Stage winner, stage 13, Giro d'Italia.